Hey up everyone and welcome back to the Zero G Nation channel. Now today we're going to be discussing a topic in the coaster community that has been quite common and relevant recently, because the Intamin Accelerator coaster, which is a type made by Intamin, it's got a hydraulic launch, it's a really fast launch system. Basically it's got a winch and it spins around with hydraulic fluid, it pulls a cable, and it launches the coaster from 0 to 60 in quite incredible speeds, but it's quite an old and dated coaster, and more recently we're seeing them, just be removed pretty much everywhere. We saw King Dakar's Destruction, Implosion or whatever it were, they got rid of that. Top Thrill Dragster over at Cedar Point, that got turned into an LSM coaster, and they had nothing but problems with that, but recently it's looking like, it's looking a bit better. But that's besides the point. Today we're going to be talking about Britain's Intamin Accelerator coasters. That is Rita over at Alton Towers and Stealth at Thorpe Park. Now, Rita isn't the best coaster ever. It's probably one of my least favourites at Towers. The launch is really fun, I'll say that, but after the launch it doesn't do very much anymore. But Stealth at Thorpe Park, I absolutely love that ride to bits. It's got an incredible launch, proper pushes you back into your seat. You get some airtime over that top hat, you go absolutely flying. But I'm sad to say its days are most likely numbered. But first we'll talk about Rita, because I think Rita will be the coaster to go first. And I've got a few different reasons for that. First of all, it's not really loved by most people. It's quite rough, it's a bit headbangy, and I feel like Towers could have a much better coaster in its place, another launch coaster. And the other reason is Stealth is one of Thorpe Park's main attractions, like the main coaster. So what I see happening is they could even start cannibalising Rita. I don't know what to call it, but start taking parts off Rita, close Rita down to keep Stealth going another few years. But the days on both coasters, they definitely do not have long left whatsoever. And it's kind of sad, really, because Rita was my first ever launch coaster. In fact, no, it was Velocity at Flamingo Land, but Rita was my first proper, intense launch coaster. And I did love it when I first went out. I was quite a bit younger than I am now, though. And, yeah. But on to what I think could go in Rita's place. Now, Merlin have been working with Mack rides. We saw that with Hyperia over at Thorpe Park, which is a Mack Hyper coaster. It's the biggest scale coaster they've ever done, and that ride is absolutely incredible. It is my favourite roller coaster I've ever been on, and I might even drop a review for it. But yeah, we know that Merlin have been working with Mack, so that could be a possibility in the future, that instead of where Rita is, they could put a Mack coaster, like a Mack Mully launch. You definitely couldn't have a Mack Hyper coaster because there's tree line restrictions. The locals would complain about a hyper coaster. That would never happen at Towers, never in a million years. But what we could have is a Mack multi-launch coaster. Now, the launches are nowhere near as intense as they are on an Intamin hydraulic launch coaster, but in my opinion, the layouts are much better. The only one I've done is Icon at Pleasure Beach, and that is a really fun coaster. It's got airtime, it's got inversions, it's got hang time. It's a really fun coaster, but what I would absolutely love to see, this would be my absolute dream, what I would love to see at Alton Towers, where Rita is right now, would be a Mack Extreme Spinner. And that is like Ride to Happiness over at Plopsaland or Time Traveller at Silver Dollar City. I've never been on one yet. I've done the Icon Enzo seat, and that was absolutely incredible. Now, if Alton Towers got a Mack Extreme Spinner, I feel like they could do an absolute whole lot of things with the terrain. They could have it diving in and out of places, much like they do with a lot of the coasters. I feel like it would be a fun coaster. I feel like it could be one of the best coasters in the world if they play the cards right. So if they make it long enough, intense enough, make it so enthusiasts like it, and make it so the general public also like it. It would have lap bars, it would be nice and free, and it would probably have a lot of airtime, which we don't really see very much in the UK, so it could be quite popular, actually. So, yeah. I think in Rita's place, a Mack Extreme Spinner should go there, but I really doubt that actually happening. I see a Mack multi-launch going there, or even, this is definitely wouldn't happen, because I don't know if Merlin have worked with Intamin for a while. I can't remember or not, but Intamin multi-launch would be pretty good where Rita is right now. I've never done one yet, but they look absolutely incredible rides. And I think Towers would benefit from one. Anyway, that's enough about Rita. Let's head to the bottom of the country and start speaking about Stealth at Thorpe Park. Now, Stealth's an interesting one because I do feel like it's got a bit longer compared to Rita, because once Rita closes, they will most likely use the parts off Rita to keep Stealth going, because Stealth it's a much more popular attraction than Rita, but it's also been having problems and downtime, just like Rita. Like, a bit ago it was closed for, I think, 1 month, 2 months, I don't know, it was closed for quite a substantial amount of time, and it only just reopened, like, not that long ago. So, they're having problems with it. I believe it was something to do with the launch or the hydraulics or something like that. It always is with these coaster types. They're really unreliable, and that's why it's probably got longer left than Rita, like I said, but it also doesn't have very long left, like, at all. Well, not at all. I think it's probably got another 5 or 6, maybe even 7 if we're lucky, years left. But now on to what I think could go in its place. Now, what they could do, what Thorpe Park could do, I don't think this is the most likely option, because I don't know, I just don't see it happening for whatever reason. Because Thorpe Park most likely saw the nightmare that it gave Cedar Point, but Cedar Point did it with Zamperla, so Thorpe Park could go back to Intamin and probably do a better job than Zamperla did. They'd never built a coaster on that scale, but what they could do is do the Top Thrill 2 treatment on Stealth. So what that would be is it would launch, go up the top hat a little bit, roll back, launch backwards into a spike, launch forwards, back full speed now, then over the top hat and finish the layout. But they could do a few interesting things with this, I feel like. They could have it so an airtime hill on the launch, like some of the multi-launch and swing launch coasters do. Then after the top hat, they could actually expand a bit, get rid of Amity Beach, which... Now, I don't think they'd do that, but they could get rid of, like, a bit of area of the park and have it expanded into actually a bit of a layout. So I feel like that would be a really good coaster, but I doubt them doing that because, like I said, the problems it gave Cedar Point, it was not reliable. It was, in the first year, it was less reliable than the original Dragster actually were. It never opened. It opened once, then didn't open again. But instead, what I believe they would do is, I think they would just completely demolish Stealth and put a new coaster in there. And John Burton did tease that there's something big coming to Thorpe Park that will beat Hyperia in the near future. Now, that could be a coaster on the Swarm Island, well, behind Swarm, or something like that. But you never know. Stealth could be replaced by something. And what I think it could be replaced by is, I genuinely don't know, because it's a small plot of land, but I feel like they could also do with a good Mack coaster, or even an RMC. An RMC probably wouldn't fit there, but I feel like a good Mack coaster would be a really good thing for the area. Like a Mack multi-launch coaster, it could wind in and out. They could get rid of some areas of the park. Well, not like some of the less popular areas of the park where there's no rides, really. They could cram another coaster in there, and I feel like it does have the potential to be a better coaster than Stealth, if I'm being honest. But that's it, really. I don't really have much more to say today. I just wanted to dive into the topic a little bit and discuss it. So, with that, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Stay tuned for more. There should be some coming in the near future. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one, because there'll be more. I might do a Hyperia review next. I don't know what I'm going to do next, actually, but thanks for watching, everyone, and goodbye.